The opposition in Guyana sticking to its guns on not returning to Parliament to extend the life of the coalition government. And in sports, Grenada hails the achievement of the country's first medalist in a field event. I'm Ricardo Roberts, and this is Caribbean in 10 for Tuesday, October 8th. I'll be back with the details after the break.
United Nations Program on HIV and AIDS, UNAIDS, issued what it called a stark wake-up call to countries around the world. In a new report for the Global AIDS Update for 2018, the organization raised concerns about the pace of progress in fighting HIV/AIDS.
He said, "Miss Philip, to know why you're here?" I said, "No, I'm not a clue." And I started to read, coming down the line, I see where it says HIV positive. I said, "Jesus have mercy."
Winterland, tell me all your secrets.
Hi, I'm Taj Burrow. I want to welcome you down to the beach here at Bondi for the Surf Age Cup. Bunch of teams lined up, ready to get their swerve on. Waves are small, but still should be fun. Everyone's in good spirits, so it should be a sick day.
Being a pro surfer, I go up to the Mentawai Islands quite a lot. Surf Age do such amazing work up there, so to be able to give back is something really special.
Guyana's opposition People's Progressive Party, the PPP, is adamant it will not return to the National Assembly to extend the life of the coalition government. But Attorney General Basil Williams is still hoping the PPP will have a change of heart. Otherwise, he foresees a crisis. He said if the opposition does not return to Parliament, then caretaker President David Granger would have no choice but to dissolve Parliament. Opposition leader Barrel Jagdeo says an extension is unnecessary since it is not linked to any decisions that should be taken to facilitate elections that are due following the government's loss of a no-confidence motion last December. We get more in this News Source Guyana report.
In the world of politics, the opposition PPP is maintaining its position that it will not be returning to Parliament. The National Assembly is set to come out of recess this week, and the Attorney General Basil Williams has said that there could be a crisis if the opposition party refuses to return to extend the life of the government as elections are due in March 2020. The president has already named an election date and has said that the elections will take place on that date whether the opposition returns to Parliament or not. The opposition party has not attended a parliamentary sitting since last year and has indicated that it has no plans to return to the National Assembly. Attorney General Basil Williams has been saying that the Constitution requires that elections be called within 3 months after a no-confidence motion or at the time agreed to by 2/3 of the National Assembly after that vote of no confidence. With the 3 months expiring since March as cases moved through the courts, the Attorney General said the extension ought to be granted, and the opposition would need to fully explain why it does not want to honor the Constitution when it refuses to go to Parliament. The opposition leader has said that he feels the call to return to Parliament is a blackmail effort by the government. Opposition Member of Parliament Anil Nandlat has also said there is absolutely no need for the PPP to return to Parliament.
The Canadian government has warned its nationals to stay away from Haiti, where opposition forces are continuing street protests to force President Jovenel Moïse out of office. It says acts of violence could happen without notice, as it urged Canadians to avoid all unnecessary travel to the French-speaking CARICOM nation. As for those already there, they've been advised to limit their movements, avoid crossing road blockades, even if they appear unattended, and plan to have adequate water, food and fuel supplies. Canadians in Haiti have also been told to avoid areas where demonstrations and large gatherings are taking place and follow the instructions of local authorities. The protests have seen burning barricades disrupting traffic in the main streets of Port-au-Prince, clashes between protesters and security forces, and police using tear gas and live ammunition to disperse crowds. The opposition insists protests will not only continue but are being stepped up with Operation Seal, during which supporters will descend on state institutions that collect government revenue, crippling their operations. The Trinidad and Tobago government says it is finally nearing a conclusion to the Clico debacle a decade after the collapse of the regional insurance giant and its parent company, CL Financial. That disclosure came from Finance Minister Colm Imbert as he delivered the 2020 budget to Parliament yesterday. CL Financial has been in the hands of liquidators since 2017, and Imbert says the liquidation process is nearing an end.
This liquidation process is now ongoing in the context of an orderly settlement of the debt owed by CL Financial to the people of Trinidad and Tobago, and we expect the exercise to be completed in 2020. In parallel, the Deposit Insurance Corporation, the liquidator of Clico Investment Bank, CIB, after many false starts in the pre-2015 period, has almost completed its assignment, with a substantial proportion of the debt being settled, allowing substantial shareholdings in blue-chip companies, such as Republic Bank, to be transferred to the state. Further, the Central Bank of Trinidad and Tobago recently announced the commencement of the final stages of the Clico resolution, with the sale of Clico's traditional insurance portfolio to a well-capitalized local insurance company.
Imbert did not identify the company, but last week the Barbados-based Sagicor Life Inc. said it had acquired the assets of Clico. Stay with us, your Midday Sport is next. The Grenada government has hailed the achievement of the country's second gold medalist and first medalist in a field event. Anderson Peters made history for the Spice Isle and shocked the world when he won the men's javelin at the just concluded IAAF World Championship with a throw of 86.69 meters. He beat former champion Johannes Vetter of Germany, who had to settle for bronze, and Estonia's Magnus Kurt, who claimed the silver. In a statement today, Grenada Sports Ministry extended congratulations to Peters, his coach Paul Phillips, and his family. It said the 21-year-old had added the new title of world champion to his list of achievements after claiming the gold in front of an electrifying crowd at the Khalifa International Stadium. Peters concluded his 2019 athletics season undefeated as the two-time SEC champion, two-time NCAA champion, NACAC Under-23 champion, and Pan-American champion. He is the second athlete in Grenada's history to become a world champion after 400-meter Olympic champion Kirani James. To football now, Reggae boy Junior Fleming struck his 15th goal of the United Soccer League season, while countryman Kevin Lambert added his third as Phoenix Rising FC recovered from their recent wobble with a 5-3 hammering of Portland Timbers at the weekend. Playing at Providence Park in the Pacific Northwest, Lambert opened the scoring after 4 minutes, and Flemings netted on the other side of the break, adding to Ben Spencer's double and a late goal from Jose Aguinaga. Giovanni Calixtro's first half strike kept the hosts in the contest at half, but Brian Hudato's 72th minute and Austrian Ledbert's own goal was that came their way in the second half. That's Caribbean in 10. Good afternoon.